Good morning, all. As I uploaded the first video, very first video on the very first channel, there was a comment that why don't we start from the beginning for the freshers or those who are beginning the cloud concepts or looking for cloud from the beginning. So here today's video is focused on cloud computing, cloud concepts, and what are the benefits, what are the SaaS, PaaS, and AS models. So we will understand that. So let's get started with the cloud concepts. Hope my screen is visible to you, and we will drive in now. Okay, so when we talk about cloud computing is the delivery of computing services over the internet. Basically, we will be enabling the faster innovation, flexible resources, and economics of scale. Basically, what happens is when we talk about any compute, when we talk about any building an app or building a website, now for building a website, you require the IIS server, and then on top of the IIS server, you need to develop the application. Basically, the maybe different resources, maybe different uh, languages would be used. So let's suppose you are doing it on X++ or maybe C++ or .NET. Now, basically, you require a operating system or a VM, and then the cloud operating system. So what happens is when we talk about the cloud operating system, from where this cloud computing comes into the picture. So cloud computing starts when you start using the phone. There are multiple apps. How that apps are working, what is the behind technology which is being used. So basically, all those are clubbing into the cloud computing, and basically it is parameterized on the compute, networking, storage, and analytics. So we will, as we dive in, we will understand more on cloud computing, and let's go to the next slide, and then let's understand about the public cloud. So one of the mostly known public cloud is Azure, and then we have GCP and AWS as well. So basically, cloud computing is basically cloud services are owned by this service providers. So basically, CSPs. So these CSPs can be big players like Azure, which is governed by Microsoft, and then GCP, which is governed by Google, and then the AWS, which is governed by the Amazon company. Now, basically, this particular public clouds are owned by the cloud services or hosting providers. We may consider as few players like your DigitalOcean, Alibaba, and so on and so forth. This basically the cloud computer basically provides the resources and services to multiple organizations and users, and it can be accessed through the secure network, typically over the internet. So that is how it is called the public cloud. Then we have the term as the private cloud. This private cloud is actually created for the organization over their data center, or it can be on the cloud environment in the cloud data centers. Organizations is responsible for operating and services they provide. Basically, the particular cloud option or a data center is tied up with the office premises. That is how it is called a private cloud. So private cloud, best example can be the banking systems. Now, that does not provide access to the users outside the organization. So if you are not in an organization like banking system, you will not get the access. But yes, you get all access and services like ATM, like your internet banking. So that's a different technology that is distributed systems. We will discuss in later slides or maybe in the later videos. Now we have the concept called hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud is a combination of public and private cloud to allow applications to run in the most appropriate location. Okay, so cloud model basically comparison has we have the comparison on the cloud computing model. We can see public cloud is basically having no capital expenditures to scale up. Whenever we need, we will just in a jiffy we can actually scale up and scale down our environments. And then application can be quickly provisioned and deprovisioned. That means we can quickly create, spin up a VM, and then based on our requirement or non-requirement, we can actually delete it as well quickly, and it will be done on the cleanup. And then we talk about the organization pay only for what they use. So basically, all the system which we use, right from the storage to the virtual machine or to the compute, the AKS, or we will discuss further all those clustering. Then this all are actually metered. Metered means, let's suppose you have you need water. So for water, you don't actually dig a well. You just take the subscription. That means you take the water bottles, probably subscribed for a year or a 2 year or a 3 year plan. Okay, so that means it is metered, or you just take a pipeline and get it built. So that is all metered one. So that means each and every component in Azure will be built. There are a number of services which are free in Azure that I will give you the details. Same way, we have different other providers which give you free services, and then there are set of build services. Now we have the private cloud, where hardware must be purchased for the startup of the maintenance. Uh, Startup, and there is a maintenance cost involved. Then organization has complete control over the resources and the security. Organizations are responsible for hardware maintenance and updates. Yes, that is one typical task which is required in the private cloud. Then we understand about the hybrid cloud. Provides the most flexibility, organization downtime where to run their application. Organization controls security, compliance, and legal requirement. This all features we will understand, wherein we have the IS, PaaS, and hybrid way of cloud computing, how it is provisioned. So the best objective of this domain, when we talk about the cloud benefits, is basically you can identify the benefits of the cloud computing, such as high availability, scalability, elasticity, agility, and disaster recovery. So basically, when we harness the benefits, the best benefit is your high availability. High availability means, let's suppose you have a critical application and it cannot bear the downtime. That is how a cloud computing high availability works. Then scalability. Scalability is something wherein you require more compute power to your website. Okay, so within the very less spin of time, how a system can be a robust, how it can be scaled out so that the load is shared. Then agility, then disaster recovery. Disaster recovery is something that once the system fails, how soon your system is available for the operation for your end users. Identify the difference between the capex, which is the capital expenditure, and operational expenditures. OPEX, basically the operational expenditure. And then we will also see about the consumption based model. Okay, so in cloud, the benefits, the cloud benefits are the high availability, scalability, global reach, agility, disaster recovery, fault tolerance, elasticity, customer latency capabilities, predictive cost considerations, and security. So we will understand each module, each of the benefits later. Once the time permits, I will do cover this, or we will make few more videos on this. We need to compare between the capital expenditure and operational expenditure. So when you try to, let's suppose you are a company startup and you want to provision some of the applications quickly. Now if you are going to purchase those hardware or software from a vendor, it will take probably 1 month or 2 months to deliver, get the hardware delivered. Then on top of it, you need to get the system installed on the operating system version, and then based on the software which you are going to use, or the language which you are going to use, you need to provision tons of softwares, and then you make the system ready for your, at least for POC. So that cost is reduced, that particular time is also reduced when you actually opt for public cloud. Okay, so the upfront spending of the money on a physical infrastructure comes under the uh, capex, basically the capital expenditure. The cost from capex has a value that reduces over the time. Obviously, once you buy a hardware, okay, well, let's suppose you have taken a server, right? So as a time and time goes, the cost of that particular your asset will actually go down, reduce it. It will reduce over the time. Whereas in operational expenditure, spends are actually on the product and services as needed, basically pay as you go. So when we talk about the public cloud, maybe the Azure or AWS or a GCP, the model is based on pay as you go. So now in the pay as you go, there are lots of models further we can actually discuss based on our need. We can go for the CSP, a discounted price. We can go 3 years reserve, and then we can also opt for per month billing or hourly billings, and then we have an desktop subscriptions. So that I will cover it later. But right now, for understanding the operational expenditure, basically it is the services and the products which you use that is billed to you. That's it. Okay, so that's the called the operational expense or operational expenditures in the cloud. Now, consumption model based. So this all cloud is actually on consume. That means whatever you consume, you bill it. Okay, so that means it is consume consumptions based model. The cloud service providers operate on a consumption based model, which means that the end users only pay for the resources that they use, whatever they use in whatever they pay for. That means, let's suppose I gave you an example wherein you are actually taking water supplies or maybe water subscription. So whatever water is actually through your meter and you use it, that is only you pay for it. Same way in the Azure, you pay it for per second or per minute basis. Okay, so better it also gives you better cost predictions. It gives you the prices for individual resources and service are provided. That means you can take the price of the resources as a granular level. That means at the end, what is left is always known as you actually build. If you are billed, you will be acknowledged. You will get these details that why you are billed for what resources. Billing is based on the actual usage. So whatever wherever the system is on and had been used, then only you will be billed for it. Then when we talk about the cloud services objective domain, then we have the infrastructure as service, which I call it as AIS. Then we have the platform as service, which is known as PaaS. We will understand about the software as services. Nowadays, we always most of the services are being used as SaaS model. Then we have identify a service based on the usage model. We will also describe that. We will describe the shared responsibility models. We will also see what is serverless computing. So to show you, this is the as configuration. So basically, we are using the servers, storage, network firewall, networking, data center, physical plant or a building which is connected. So whenever we build our systems on pay as you go, and IT infrastructure is actually why it is renting servers, virtual machines, and the storage. Then this is called a IS. Typical, it is called an IS based billing. And then we have the platform as services, provides environments for buildings, testing, deploying software applications without focusing on managing the underlying infrastructure. That means when you talk about the PaaS, the IS is already covered. Okay, so that means underlying hardware plus the operating system and the development tools, database management, business analytics. Then when it comes to SaaS, that means everything is managed by the vendor. You just connect and use it. That means user connect to use the cloud-based apps over the internet. For example, Microsoft Office 365. This is called Microsoft 365 nowadays. Email, calendars, even Dynamics 365, all are actually now called as a SaaS application, SaaS offering from Microsoft. Okay, so even your Outlook account which you use is actually a SaaS model. And let's have the comparison. Then IaaS is the most flexible cloud service. You configure and manage the hardware for your application. In PaaS, it is morely focused on the application development. Platform management is handled by the cloud provider. Then the SaaS is basically pay-as-you-go pricing model. Users pay for the software they use on a subscription model basis. We have the share responsibility model also. So I will just give you the details. Wherein if you see the color green, basically you manage it, and then the blue one is basically the cloud provider manages. So on premises is always a private cloud, which is everything is managed by you. That means if you take it from the lower end, storage, networking, compute, virtual machines, operating system, runtime, application, data, and access, everything is managed by you. And then when it comes to the IS, the data application runtime operating system and the VM is managed by you. Compute, networking, storage is managed by the CSP, that is your cloud service provider. Same way, when it calls as a platform as services, runtime, operating system, VM, compute, networking, storage, everything is managed by the cloud provider. You only just manage for the data and access and the application. Same way, when it comes to the software services, application, runtime, operating system, virtual machine, compute, networking, storage, everything is managed by the cloud provider. You just manage the data and how you access it. Now, serverless computing. When we talk about the serverless computing is basically an application that the cloud service provider automatically provisions, scales, manage their infrastructure as required to run that as a code. Okay, so we have two as an example, as a right now as an example, which is the Azure Function and Azure Logic Apps. Okay, so Azure Function is a code running on your service and not on the underlying platform or infrastructure. It creates infrastructure based on an event. Then same way, when we talk about the Azure Logic App, it is actually a cloud service that helps you automate or select the task, business processes, and workflow that you need to integrate apps, data, systems, and services. Thank you. So we will try to understand it from the system point of view, but this will be covered in my next video. Thank you.